308, I think.
कौन सा है स्टार्ट बताओ.
नारायण पद हुआ.
हाँ जी.
आप संस्कृत पढ़ते हो ना?
हाँ जी.
Prayer things.
प्रेयर पे लगा लो सभी
Mindful
लोग.
notes is different. This is chapter 4.
हाँ,
So this
उसके
is
आगे
chapter
जाओ.
4. तो
आगे
next
जाओ.
page पे है.
मीरा
उससे
आपके
आगे.
में 313 है.
No, yours is
313
okay.
on the right hand side शुरू से.
Are you sure your and my?
No, they're not.
But
I don't know why it
There's
maybe
different
page
pages
numbers may
of
differ.
it.
ये लीजिए.
Mine is on. Thank you. Mine is on. Actually, page 308.
ठीक है, कोई बात
Yes, so that's fine.
नहीं. Because different times पे print किया होगा.
Yes,
We don't know.
sure.
अच्छा, so ये do we do it together now? I've been
Yeah.
doing it so much.
Do it together. So this
Everybody
is just
try
a
to
prayer.
yeah.
Then.
Narayanam Pradbhuvam Vasishtam.
नारायणं.
That's not together.
I'm sorry.
I can do.
repeat कर रही हूँ.
अच्छा चलो follow lead follow style करते हैं चलो.
That's better for us.
नारायणं पद्भुवं वसिष्ठं. नारायणं पद्भुवं वसिष्ठं. शक्तिं च तत्पुत्र पराशरं च. शक्तिं च तत्पुत्र पराशरं च. व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं. व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं. गोविन्द योगीन्द्र मथास्य शिष्यं. गोविन्द योगीन्द्र मथास्य शिष्यं. श्री शंकराचार्य मथास्य पद्मपादं. श्री शंकराचार्य मथास्य पद्मपादं. च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं. मलकं च शिष्यं. तं त्रोटकं वार्तिककार्यमन्यान्. त्रोटकं वार्तिककार्यमन्यान्. अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि. अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि. Okay, so we were. Did I miss that? Where were we? Yes, we were on 30. Okay, and I had told a story last time. Anybody remembers that fellow who was holding on to the tree, and he tells. सब भूल गए.
Doesn't
Oh
let me
yeah,
go.
you doesn't let me go, and that
That's
was
the one.
yeah.
We think the world is holding us.
Yeah,
So,
but we are
so
not letting
analogy
it
is that the saint was holding the tree, hugging the tree, and he's saying, "Oh, मैं बन गया, And the chela said, "What are you doing? Why are you hugging the tree? Let it go." So he's saying, "You are telling me world is binding you. The world is not binding you. You are holding on to the world." Okay. So before I jump into this, everybody remembers that one sentence. Brahma Satya.
Jagat Miti.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to remember that to go into
Okay,
this.
yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
remember,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
confuse. Oh, yeah.
30th है ना?
इनका बताओ जरा.
ये मेरा तो है page
आसपास ही होगा.
353,
353.
but it is the verse 30.
Okay.
अच्छा.
I think
अच्छा, आपने
verse
different
it is
है.
easier to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, than the page.
Yeah.
Because the pages are different.
These are all different
हाँ जी.
editions.
हाँ जी.
So, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, if we keep that in our mind as a base,
Yes.
then everything, otherwise we'll be arguing too much here. So, just remember that before we get into it. Anaderantavat tattvam. Anaderantattvam. Cha sansar. No. Anaderantavat tattvam. Cha sansarasya na setyasi. संसारस्य न सेत्यसि अनतन्ता चादिमतो. अनतन्ता चादिमतो मोक्षस्य न भविष्यति. मोक्षस्य न भविष्यति. अच्छा, किसने नहीं पढ़ा अभी? आप पढ़िए.
This might be different in mine.
Okay. Oh, sorry, संस्कृत में आप करेंगे संस्कृत या मैं
है
करूँ?
नहीं
This
हमारे.
man is Sanskrit. I don't have the Sanskrit part.
Anadehe is of the beginningless, antvatvam cha, and like the end, means termination. Sansarasya, of the world, na setyasi, cannot be established or achieved. Anatanta, the everlastingness, cha, and adimata, which has a beginning, mokshasya, of moksha, na bhavishyati, there will not be. So what I'll do is I will tell you few things, and then when we read, it might make sense. So, one of the biggest problem and arguments people have is, when did the world begin? And we saw that nobody can come to that conclusion. And chicken came, egg came, or egg came first, we don't know. So now they are saying that, that there are different schools of, we talked about that, Sankhya is there, and then other schools. Some of them say world is also beginningless. Because when they cannot come to a conclusion, just like they say Bhagwan is like Anant, so it has no beginning, no Janma, no Maran. So now they are saying the world has a beginning, or ignorance has a beginning, but it can end once you get enlightened. You see that? Everybody got that picture?
Yes.
Ignorance does not have a beginning, but it can have an end.
That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, because there is one school of thought that says like that.
Yes.
He's going to find a flaw in that. Because what is his goal? He's saying,
No beginning, no end.
no, his goal is that जो तुमको ये दुनिया दिखाई देती है, वो स्वप्न की जैसी है.
It's delusion.
तुम जो स्वप्न में देखते हो और तुम्हारी जो दुनिया है वो सेम है, और हम लोग वो मानने को तैयार नहीं है, बिकॉज हम लोग कहते हैं कि ये कैसे हो सकता है. So उसने सारा प्रूव कर दिया. हम लोग because some of you came late, he's gone through this is like a summary of the entire thing again. He's hammering it कि अगर किसी के मन में थोड़ा ट्रेस भी रह गया है, उसको वो निकाल के फेंक रहा है right now. So now let's read that, what he's saying.
If the world be admitted to be beginningless, as the disputants insist, then it cannot be non-eternal. Moksha or liberation cannot have a beginning and be eternal.
2. So now I want to bring one more point. Everybody, we know that हम लोग बोलते हैं कि ignorance is beginningless, like you said. But once you know once you get the knowledge, और तुमको मोक्ष प्राप्त हो गया, so they always say कि it is permanent. फिर तुम संसार में नहीं आते, right?
Yeah.
और enlightenment हो गया तुम्हारा. अब तुम आओगे तो भी अपनी मर्जी से. He's saying that that's not possible, क्योंकि जो चीज़ शुरू में मतलब क्या बोलते हैं beginningless है, वो उसका पहली बात तो वो end नहीं आ सकता उसका. हमने बोला ignorance खत्म हो गया. तो
Okay.
Did you get the picture?
No.
Okay. Something is born will die.
Okay.
Beginningless will also be endless. You cannot say the beginningless and then it will end, because उसके nature में नहीं है वो.
But I thought the ignorance is.
It
That's
ends
what they
when you
say.
in-
That's what they say.
I mean, once you
Yes.
attain.
That's what is the normal. कि भाई वो क्या prove करना चाह रहा है कि तभी मैंने वो कहानी बताई थी. हम लोग को लगता है कि हम बंधे हुए हैं
लेकिन है नहीं.
और अब हमको enlightenment हो गया. वो कहता है तुम कभी बंधे ही नहीं थे.
Right.
तुमको
right.
वहम हो गया था कि तुम बंध गए हो.
Yes. So, okay.
वहम हो गया था तुम बंध गए
Right,
हो.
right.
Now
तुम
I get it.
हमेशा ही फ्री थे.
Okay, now I get it.
Now you get it? तभी मैंने वो एक कहानी बताई थी ना कि वो एक गधे को लेके
Yes,
जाता है और
yeah.
फिर ऐसे ऐसे करता है, फिर गधा सोचता है मैं बंध गया. फिर
हाँ.
और फिर
Attempt to
गधा
tie it.
हाँ एंड फिर गधा जब चलता नहीं है तो वो ऐसे ऐसे करता है, ओ मैं तो छूट गया. कभी वो गधा बंधा था? हम लोग भी वैसी हैं. हम लोग होता है हम बंधे हुए हमको एनलाइटनमेंट चाहिए, और ये कह रहे हैं कि तुमको कुछ चाहिए नहीं, तुम कभी बंधे ही नहीं थे, साली जागो जागो जागो. That's what he's saying. So keep that in background, and now this will get clear.
Here Gaurpada points out another defect in the argument of those who maintain that Atman is really subject to bondage and liberation. If the word meaning the state of bondage of Atman be without a beginning or a definite past, then its end cannot be established by logic. For that which is beginningless must necessarily be endless. Again, if liberation or rediscovery of self has a beginning, then it must be a finite experience. One who is liberated also must necessarily fall back again into the world of birth and death. This then stultifies This then certifies the very aim and goal of philosophy. Thus, if the world be admitted to be beginningless, then it cannot be finite. It must necessarily be eternal. And if mortality be an eternal condition of you and me, then there cannot be any spiritual path as such which would ever take the pilgrims into the permanent success and infinite perfection. So too, moksha or liberation cannot have a beginning, for if it has a beginning, it must necessarily end, since all things born or made must necessarily perish. In short, pure reason must insist that the pluralistic world of phenomena is only a delusory creation of the mind, and that when an individual has transcended the mental plane, his experience must be the experience of the self, which is not a new discovery, but it is a rediscovery of what was in him for all the time as his real nature.
So that's the main thing. Now everybody got it. But वो घुमा फिरा के, because people start arguing about that. So उन्होंने उस argument में भी flaw पाया कि जो चीज़ अगर beginningless है तो वो endless भी होगी और अगर आधा नहीं तुम ले सकते. That's what he's saying. अच्छा.
It's like one ancestor died and he had a lot of valuable things stored in a storehouse, and he wrote the will that everything will be my son's, but son never sighed. So after father died, then he went and he turned on the light, and then he says, oh my gosh, I already had all this, but I never knew.
He thought he felt like a beggar. Yeah, in fact, that one very, very nice analogy is there on the same lines, and you will identify with this, कि हिंदी मूवीज में दिखाते हैं ना, बच्चा खो गया मेले में, तो ये किंग का बेटा खो गया, फिर उसको किसी भिखारी ने अडॉप्ट कर लिया और उसको बेग करवा रहा है उससे. The poor fellow thinks that he is poor. So वो and finally कहानी में वो उसको डिस्कवर हो जाता है. फिर वो जब वो प्रश्न ये है कि वो किंग का बेटा था हमेशा, उसको सिर्फ मालूम नहीं था. Like exactly the same story.
Yeah.
So Saint and sages are saying you are that Atman, you are free, you feel bound, but actually you are not. And the only reason you do, because you give too much reality to this. That's why it says very clearly, when you transcend the mental plane, then you rediscover. It's not like something new. Moksha has not come from somewhere outside. It's just, that's why it's called self-realization. Look at the word. You have realized it. That's all it is. It's always there.
और उसका रीजन क्या है कि जो माया है वो उतनी ही पावरफुल है. So it keep you attached. तो उससे बंधन छुड़वाना, उससे अलग होना, that's the problem.
So that's why they gave you the trick. तुम मायापति के पास चले जाओ तो फिर अपने आप वो माया नहीं तुमको कुछ करेगी. वो बोलते हैं ना कि where will you take shelter if suppose कोई बॉम्ब फटने वाला हो. सबसे पावरफुल आदमी के पास जाओ तो फिर उसने पहले he's going to protect you from the other. It's just an analogy, but what I'm saying is that go to the highest.
That is faith.
Yeah.
Faith in God.
Wish we can go. It's not that easy.
If it was easy, we won't be sitting in this class.
It's better to die.
But if you die without getting all this knowledge, you'll come back again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I think each birth
No
is...
problem. That's good. You get a new dress.
No, but it's one of those things that once you become the boss, then you can choose your dress.
Yeah.
Now the dress is thrown at you. Take this when we don't like it.
plus eventually when you
Oh,
have too
that's
many
how it
dresses,
happens?
Yeah.
then you tire of new dresses and you say, okay, what the heck, I'm done. Then
No, you want to be at the highest level. Even our own worldly things. We all want the highest thing. We want the best. Do we ever get satisfied with just,
No.
if the only satisfaction you're going to get is when you get self-realized, उसके ना हमेशा कुछ कमी लगती है. किसी को भी पूछो, कितना भी बड़ा घर ले लो, कितना भी वो पहुंच जाओ, पता है कुछ और चाहिए. Then we go into values, then those things. So
घर पे एक अच्छा दृष्टांत था कि one man he built a very nice house, he furnished it so well, so he used to call his friends and relatives and used to show them the whole house. How's my house? How's the furniture? They all used to say, such a pretty house you built. Then one day a saint comes in that village, so he calls the saint also. Let him come, घूम के जावे वो भी. Yeah, so saint sees a whole house, but he doesn't say utter a word. Whole house he sees. फिर उसको बिठाता है, भोग लगवाता है, बोल कुछ तो बोलो, मेरे घर में इतने चरण घुमाए, कुछ तो बोलो. बोले क्या बोलूं? बोलता है वो संत उसको, your house is very good, you made this entrance door, from that only they'll take you out, बांध के.
जब मर जाएगा तब.
तो पूरा उसको ज्ञान एक सेंटेंस में दे दिया कि ये जो तूने एंट्रेंस का दरवाजा बनाया ना, इससे ही तेरे को लेके जाएंगे बांध के.
Don't get too attached. I think that's what he was trying to tell him. और दूसरा भी मैंने एक सुना है कि एक गया सेंट और राजा के बाहर जाके बोलता है इस सराय में मेरे को ज़रा एक दिन के लिए बिताने दो. तो बोले ये सराय, ये तो इतना बड़ा महल है मेरा, उसको सराय क्यों बोल रहा है? तो बोला सराय किसको बोलते हैं? बोलते जहाँ से आते जाते लोग हैं, राइट. सो इससे कि तो मैं तो यहीं हूँ. तो बोला अच्छा तेरे पहले कौन था यहाँ पे? तो बोला वो मेरा दादा था, फिर उसका बाप हुआ, फिर तेरे बाद कौन होगा? मेरा बेटा होगा. तो सराय तो हुई फिर. तो उसको अपना क्यों समझ रहा है?
जगह सराय, कोई आए कोई जाए, पर मन न लगाए यहाँ.
So that's what, those are the wisdom that comes through this kind of things.
One dreaming of poverty cannot become really poor because during the dreaming state the experience was seemingly so real. Dream came only because of the individual self-forgetfulness and wrong identification with one's own mental thoughts. The moment one is awakened, one rediscovers oneself to be what one is and learns to laugh at one's own sorrows in the dream as the dream poor man.
So everybody understood the analogy of the dream. That's what they are talking about in reality. That's what, yes.
Similarly, the world and the plurality, the experience of delusory concepts, mortality, etc., etc., are only dream experiences of the self-forgetful Atma, as though identifying with the mind and other grosser sheets. By conscious efforts, when we withdraw ourselves from the body, mind, and intellect, the self recognizes itself to be nothing other than the self, and at the moment of the real awakening, the true moment of liberation, it understands the dream of nothingness, which the world is, and its experiences during a state of bondage.
So I think this last paragraph summarizes why he's saying it, right? Does everybody kind of understood what he's saying? That when we forget who we are, and when we identify, means I think that Tejomayananji used to give the best way that we could understand, that this is a relative reality, he calls it, what we are in, and he always says that don't give too much reality to it. It's like a passing thing. So he's not, we have to do our duties, we have to do our best, we have to do everything. It's just don't get too attached because it's like a dream. That's all it is. But that's why he brought this whole thing. So now, I think maybe it may be time up now, right?
Yeah, it is.
Hmm?
It is 15.
16.
No, 12.
Because the other two are going to.
16.
We have 10, then we might be able to do, because we usually stop at 12:30. Okay. We can start and then we'll see how far we go. Adavante jayannasti. Adavante jayannasti. Vartamane pitattatha. Vartamane pitattatha. Vitathai sadrusha santah. Vitathai sadrusha santah. Avitatha iva lakshitaha. Avitatha iva lakshitaha. Saprayojanata tesham.
सप्रयोजनता तेषां
स्वप्ने विप्रतिपद्यते
स्वप्ने विप्रतिपद्यते
तस्मादाद्यन्तवत्वेन मिथ्येव खलु ते स्मृताः Although he is in the beginning, cha ante, and in the end, yat nasti, which is non-existent, vartamane api, in the intermediate stage also. Tat, that, tatha is so, vitathehi, with unreal objects. Sadrushaha, they are identical. Santaha, even though. Iva avitatha, as if real. Lakshitaha, are regarded. The next verse, saprayojanata, serve some purpose. Tesham, of those objects, means of the waking state. Swapne, in dream. Vipratipadyate, is contradicted. Tasmat, therefore. Adi antavatvena, since they are a beginning and an end. Mithya eva, illusory only. Khalu is are indeed. Smritaha, considered and accepted. Okay. Kaun padega? Anybody who has not read it, want to read? Otherwise you can read, Meeraji.
31.
Yeah, 31 and 32, the English translation.
That which is non-existent in the beginning and in the end is necessarily non-existent in the intermediary stages also. The objects we see are illusions, still they are regarded as if real.
So now you can understand why he's saying that, right? He's just saying कि कोई चीज़ का कैरेक्टर बीच में नहीं चेंज हो जाएगा. जो अनरियल है वो हमेशा ही अनरियल रहेगा और जो रियल है वो हमेशा रियल रहेगा. That's what he's saying. So he's now going further in his argument. Yes.
32. The argument that they, the objects of the waking state, serve some purpose is contradicted in the dream. Therefore, they are undoubtedly accepted to be illusory by the discriminate on account of their having a beginning and an end.
So here, I want to bring that point that Mandukya started with the 3 stages: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep.
Yeah.
And then it said there is Turiya state is, Brahman is in all of them, but it is still not, it is separate. Right? All those 3 states, उन एक स्टेट का दूसरे में प्रवेश नहीं है. When we are dreaming, we are not awake. When we are deep sleep, we are not dreaming or awake. So अगर कोई चीज़ रियल होती है तो वो हमेशा रहती है. That's the definition of real. जब हम डीप स्लीप में जाते हैं तो हम सब भूल जाते हैं. मेरा नाम, मैं कौन हूँ, मैं सो रहा हूँ, nothing. और चाहे कितना भी किसी को वेकिंग स्टेट में कोई बहुत खुश है, कोई बहुत दुखी है एंड ऑल दैट, डीप स्लीप में सबका समान होता है. ड्रीमिंग अलग अलग हो सकता है. दैट्स ट्रू. एंड इवन इफ यू टेक अवेकिंग एंड ड्रीमिंग, जब तक हम ड्रीम कर रहे हैं हम ये भूले हुए हैं कि हम सोए हुए हैं. हम पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ घूम रहे हैं, क्या क्या कर रहे हैं. राइट? सो ही इज सेइंग दैट तुम सोचते हो कि ये दुनिया एकदम रियल है, तो जब ड्रीम में जाते हो वो दुनिया गायब हो जाती है. दैट्स द आर्ग्यूमेंट ही इज गिविंग. और डीप स्लीप में दोनों दुनिया गायब हो जाती है. इसलिए दे आर नॉट रियल. बट उसका जो सबस्ट्रेटम है, उसका जो आधार है उसका, वो हमेशा रहता है. दैट इज ब्रह्मन, दैट्स गॉड, दैट्स व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू कॉल इट. Does that make sense?
Never disappear, yeah.
Reality is what exists
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time.
But the reason he's saying that all that because हमारा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि हम वो जागृत अवस्था को बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस देते हैं. So he is just loosening that hold of our mind to it. That's what he's trying to do. So I think that maybe what we can do is, you guys think about it, huh?
Only Turiya is the real state.
Yes.
everything else is a dream. Is not.
It's
real.
an experience, they call it.
Okay.
You can definitely say that the waking experience is more strong. You know, I'll tell you something. These days, the TV is coming so high def,
Yeah.
and you buy the big TV, and it's high def, and pata nahi wo 5G. I'm not technical person, huh? You guys maybe. Or I was telling my husband, I'm watching Devo ke Dev Mahadev, मुझे लगता है वो गणेश जी मेरे कमरे में आ गए हैं. He looks more real than me. It's like the depth is there. It looks like 3D totally, and the reality is so strong.
It's coming close.
This is happening to you only, I think, because.
No, you can. I'm just giving that example because that's what I'm watching. But you can be watching a soap opera. I don't care what you're watching. A game, and even game, I would say you will never be able to watch the way you do now in your living room. If you go over there, you'll be sitting so far away. Here they are focusing on, and I don't know. Do you understand?
Everything is highlighted.
Highlighted.
And it's in HD.
And if you start thinking that hey, I'm there in that jungle, you will start feeling you are in that jungle. That's what is happening to us. That we are in this experience of, and we think we feel we are it. Baba, yehi hai, aur to kuch hai nahi. That's
Because
what.
there's a continuity also. In dreams, there's no continuity. You cannot go back, say you see a pizza, you want to eat it, and the dream is broken.
True,
through.
and you-
Next day you can't eat the pizza.
True.
It's
But now you
different.
tell me, after you leave this life,
Yeah. What
is it
about-
available to you?
Yeah, you left it.
Yes, it is in a different body.
No, but different body.
Different body. Some-
But mind is going with me.
Listen.
You may not eat the same pizza after.
Exactly. I was gonna say. You may be eating. आप कहीं वो अफ्रीका में होंगे, इंडिया में होंगे, हम.
Better pizza.
You may be in Italy eating the real one. This fake one.
So bottom line is, after all this intellectual conversation, we just come down to pizza and eating. Sum total.
But like it is a little hard. But if that's why he's doing all these arguments, and that's why a pure mind can absorb these things. That's why he's telling us to purify the mind. नहीं तो ऐਵੇਂ किसी को जाके बोलो who has not studied much and not contemplated or don't have a pure mind, he'll never agree with you. He will argue till the sun goes down.
Of course, I know the argument.
Yeah, so but he's trying to wake something wake up something in us. That's what it is. Okay, so maybe we can we churn upon this at home, so we can do. And now if everybody has a books and all that, you can even read. If you read and come, it'll be even easier to understand. Don't you think? Let's do the closing prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युमुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Keep your spine straight. Fill your hearts with love and devotion. And we'll chant Om 3 times. So take a deep breath and start from the lowest chakra and bring it up all the way here. Stop for a few minutes and expand inside. And then we'll chant again from the bottom.
Om Dyav Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Nirapaha Shanti Roshadhayah Shanti Vanaspatayah Shanti Vishve Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redi Om Shanti 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 Om.
Thank you, everyone.